I've had the opportunity to work with some of the greatest wrestlers on the planet. And in today's video, I'm going to be rating those experiences. What's up, everybody? It's Grim, and thanks for joining me for today's video. This is part 2 from my previous video, where I was rating the amazing TV wrestlers that I have worked with on my YouTube show. But apparently I forgot a few huge ones. No, I didn't forget them. I purposely left them out so you'd all join me back here for part 2. Please like the video, leave a comment below about what you think of this video, subscribe for more, tap the bell, and turn on the notifiers. I'm here in Seaside Heights, and I'm gonna rate the wrestlers that I've worked with on GTS Wrestling, starting with Brian Myers. Working with Brian Myers was one of the coolest experiences of my entire YouTube career because he was fresh off WWE television when I got to work with him. I had this entire feud with Curt Hawkins, fresh off TV, and nobody saw it coming. It was one of the coolest experiences because we had this MJ Appleballs character, and he was attacking me every week. And when we finally unmasked it to see who was behind it, it was Curt Hawkins. Nobody saw this coming. People thought it was going to be somebody from my show, but nope. So the fact that Hawkins even was part of that meant so much to me. It was such an amazing thing for him to be like, hell yeah, dude, I want to be MJ Appleballs. I want to be in this. So thank you for that. And then on top of it, we got to do an entire feud. I got to go to Create a Pro. I got to wrestle in his school. I got to wrestle with his students, which at the time was Max Caster, MJF, was Bear Bronson, Smart Mark Sterling, Chris Statlander. These are all people that are now wrestling on television. So not only did I have an amazing experience working with Curt Hawkins, Brian Myers, but I got to wrestle with future superstars, the future World Heavyweight Champion, like I mentioned in my previous video. Now, Brian was honestly such a nice guy. He was really one of the coolest people I've ever gotten to work with on a personal level. And he was always wanting to do things like that I wouldn't have even asked him to do. For example, take a huge bump on a pile of action figures. It was all his idea. He's like, yeah, Grim. He's like, you got to slam me on the figures. I'm like, are you sure? Like, you're a wrestler from TV, man. Like, do it. So it was really an amazing experience. And I'm going to rate it my highest rating ever because I love you, Brian. 10 asses up. Ding, ding, ding. Well, that was 15. All right, give him 15. The next person that I'm going to rate, I could make an entire video series documenting my experiences with him. It's James Ellsworth. Again, here's another superstar fresh off of WWE television right onto Grim's Toy Show Wrestling. So right then and there, it's like, oh my God, this guy just wrestled John Cena on TV, and now he's wrestling me on my YouTube channel. So right there, it's like a little bit of Mark inside me. It's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, right? At first. Now he's just James, he's my dude. But like the first time I ever got to work with James, not only did we film 3 episodes back to back to back, right? But then I got to hang out with him because he had phone trouble and was like, hey, Grim, you know any AT&T stores around here? Because I gotta get my phone service. And I was like, I can take you to the one around the corner. And I wound up getting to hang out with Ellsworth for the whole night. Like, it wasn't just like he was like a star and I'm here to do my job and leave and here's my money. Like, he was just like, cool, want to be friends, want to hang out? And like, we went to the mall and we went to the AT&T store and we got his phone fixed and we made a whole nother video for my whole nother channel. And so working with James Ellsworth, like, again, this is the first time, that first impression experience was an epic experience. What a good dude, and what a pleasure to have on my show. So I'm going to rate working with Ellsworth 5 asses up, just like Myers, 15. You know, I can make a whole video series about working with Myers too. Should I? Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys want to see like a whole series about all my experiences with guys that I worked with for a long time? Ellsworth, Brian Myers, Robert Stone. One of the wrestlers I was super excited to work with and completely let down by was Adam Rose. Pure garbage. I don't like that dude. And you know what the thing is? I really liked it at first. Like, I loved the character when he came out. Whoa, 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 whoa. All the rosebuds dancing around. Infectious energy. Listen, I'm a club dancing kind of guy. Look, I literally live here at the Jersey Shore. That's the Shore Store from Snooki, MTV, Jersey Shore House. So it was like my kind of gimmick. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to get into this. I'm going to support this character. And I was on my YouTube show, and he noticed it. And I thought that was the coolest thing. So I'm like, yes, now I definitely having a great experience with Adam Rose so far. He's acknowledging the fact I'm a huge fan. I bought the shirt. We did our own little party bus, rosebud dance video. We had a lot of fun with it. So then he gets fired by WWE. And I'm like, all right, well, then I get to work with him, right? Yeah, awesome. So I got booked to be like a rosebud because they wouldn't book me to wrestle with him. But I got booked to be a rosebud with him at one of the local independent wrestling shows. And it was so weird. He was so standoffish and weird about it. And just like making weird comments about the rosebuds and stuff. And I'm like, I thought this was like your thing. And you want everybody to dance around and be crazy and be rosebuddy and stuff. And he's like making fun of it and just being weird and cringy and didn't really care. And he's like, why do we even have rosebuds? He's like, that was the WWE thing. I'm like, I thought this was your gimmick and you were into this. And he just crapped on the whole thing. And it was disappointing, right? But then all of a sudden he's taking some independent wrestling bookings to where I'm like, maybe I can get him to come wrestle me at my show on GTS rather than, on an independent wrestling show. So I booked him through his agent to come wrestle me at my show. We're going to have him revealed as one of the clowns and he was going to fight me in my warehouse. He's like, I'm not doing that. Literally, as he pulled up and paid at my warehouse, he's like, oh, I thought this was a podcast. And I'm like, we literally told you it was a wrestling match and you were going to be a clown and we were going to unmask you and everything. And he's like, oh, I didn't know that was today. He's like, I thought this was a podcast. I thought you did a podcast. And I'm like, no, I want to have a match. He's like, well, I'm not doing a match. He's like, I'll do a cameo. He was in like a 1-minute cameo on one of our pay-per-views. And then he wanted to do an interview. It was garbage. He didn't even want to talk about anything fun or interesting. If you're only going to do a podcast, at least talk about something interesting. So Adam Rose, 37 asses down. Okay, so you all know Rich Swann, right? Well, I'm going to rate my experience of wrestling Rich Swann for the GTS Legendary Championship about 1.5 years ago on my YouTube show. Now, keep in mind I was about 100 pounds heavier. This was right before I started my diet, and so I was a big bloated bastard. And to Rich's defense, there was not much, his cruiserweight style could do with Shamu me. And this thing's pooping over here. So, what did we have to do in this match? We tried to come up with some cool stuff to do. And one of the things that Rich wanted to do was, his big patented 450 splash. Even though he wasn't going to beat me. And I was like, I'm cool with you hitting that move. So I'm going to take this move. I'm going to get drilled by the 450. And I'm like, I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all. I trust Rich. He's a consummate professional to not hurt me or do anything because I didn't want to get hurt because I had a very, very, very special taping like 2 days later after this and I could not be hurt for it. It was a little spicy. Anyway. Back to Rich Swann. He goes to do the 450 splash and bam! He puts his knee right in my ear and ow, did that hurt? Oh my God, I thought I was gonna die. I thought my jaw was crushed. And I no-sold it. I was like, oh no, it's fine. I'm good. And meanwhile inside I'm like, it hurts so bad. I thought I was gonna die. And then he's like, yeah, I messed that up. I'm like, yeah, no crap. And he's like, well, I don't want that to be in the video. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Now Rich Swann's gonna put his goddamn... Oh, he's gonna break me this time, but no, it was smooth. And working with Rich was so fun. He's so infectious. He's like, it's been so much over. He's all wild and everything. And I love that energy. So he had great infectious energy, and we had a great match. I mean, as best as he could do with me and my terrible fatness at the time. But working with Rich Swann does lose stars for the knee to the ear, Rich. 2 asses. Eugene. I'm going to rate working with Eugene. And I'm not going to say it was a negative experience in any way whatsoever, but it was a very interesting experience. He's got a very different brain from anybody else I've ever met in my life. It was a very interesting brain. And again, this is not in a negative way. This is just in a very intriguing and I didn't know what to do kind of way. I was very thrown off, but he's got such a great mind for the business. And he was coming up with things to do in our match that I had never even seen or heard of before, but that were incredible. And I was like, this guy's like on another level. When you see those memes and they're like, this guy's living in 3023, like that's Eugene in real life. Nick Dinsmore is living in 3023. So working with him was a really interesting and cool experience, but at the same time, I felt awkward. I felt a little weird at times, but it wasn't bad in any way, and I would totally do it again. And I love the dude, and I hope that I do get the chance to work with him again. So I'm going to rate that 3 asses up. All right, so I'm about to rate a controversial one. Here we go. Thunder freaking Rosa, okay? Thunder Rosa comes under fire on the internet from a lot of people about her attitude backstage and politics and all that kind of stuff. But I have worked with Thunder Rosa, and I'm about to rate that experience and it was a fantastic experience because Thunder Rosa caused no backstage problems at GTS. Thunder Rosa was just like, oh cool, I'm so here to do whatever's gonna make this show awesome. That's who she is, okay? Thunder Rosa is an incredible person. Thunder Rosa put over Soda Pop Smith from my wrestling show on my other channel, which is like, it's like losing to like Zack Ryder if you're Charlotte Flair. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Soda Pop Smith, really? No. So Thunder Rosa, you do not slander my Thunder Rosa, okay? I do not want any slander of Thunder Rosa down in the comments, on the timeline, or anywhere. I will shut it down immediately because that was a 5 asses up experience. Thunder Rosa is the goddamn best, and I will hear nothing else. Okay, now I have to rate one of the most hardcore wrestlers of all time, the Blue Meanie, an ECW original. This guy came to GTS in like when we first had our ring era. It was the original 2016 Killer Clowns are attacking everybody, and we were about to unmask the ringleader, and it was gonna be the Blue Meanie. And I said, all right, so we need the clown to wrestle, and then it's gonna get unmasked at the end. I said, but you don't have to wrestle the whole match in the costume. We'll have somebody else do it, and then we'll just unmask you at the end. And he said, oh hell no, I'm not doing that. And I was like, oh man, Blue Meanie don't want to do it. He's like, no, I'm gonna do it. He's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wrestle in the clown costume the whole match. Like, you don't have to have somebody wrestle for you. I was like, really, you're gonna do that? Like, wow, like I wouldn't ask you to do that. Like, that mask is hot, it's hard to breathe in. The costume might be restrictive, not what he's used to. You know, I didn't want to cause any safety issues or anything, but Blue Meanie's like Tom Cruise doing his own stunts in Mission Impossible. I insist. And I said, all right, when we put the Blue Meanie in the clown costume, and then we wrestled him. And oh my God, I almost died because he gave me like the big splash at one point. And Blue Meanie was, at that point, tip of the scales, 350, maybe 400 pounds. So I thought I crapped out my spleen when this guy went right on top of me. But all in all, an amazing experience. What a wonderful person. I've seen him many times at conventions afterwards where he's like, Greg, people still talk about me from being on GTS. And guess what? That's like one of my highest viewed videos of all time. So thank you, Blue Meanie. Technically, you were the best of all time, so I have to give him the highest rating of all time. 16 asses up. Okay, so we've come to the end of this video, but as you guys know, there's plenty of more awesome wrestlers from the TV that I have worked with on my show. So let me know in the comments below who you want me to rate next in part 3, because we're going to be doing it coming up soon, but I might do a little something in between where I got to talk to you about some other things. So don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell, turn on the notifiers, and if you're not down with that, you're going to get snapped by a Slim Graham.